Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight at the Westerville City Schools Board of Education meeting. I would like to call for nominations for President Pro Tempore.
I nominate Jerry Cotter.
Second.
Can you please call the roll?
Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Dr. Nestor Baker?
Yes.
Ms. Cotter?
Yes. Thank you. Can you please call the roll, too?
Mr. Bell?
Here.
Dr. Nestor Baker?
Here.
Ms. Cotter?
Here.
Mr. Velardo?
You'd
Mrs.
all,
Davidson?
sorry. If you'd all like to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, our next item on the agenda is 4.01, approval of the minutes of the June 18th and June 20th meeting and regular session held on June 24th as presented. Are there any questions about the minutes?
No, so I'll move it.
Okay. Second,
Second.
please call.
Dr. Nestor Baker?
Yes.
Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Ms. Cotter?
Yes. Okay, moving on to agenda item 5. I see that we do not have anyone signed up for public comments this evening. Moving on to agenda item 6.01 through 6.12. Can I please have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Dr. Hopkins?
Good evening, President Cotter, members of the board, Dr. Kellogg. I'd like to present for your consideration tonight's personnel consent agenda. Some of the highlights included are that we have 21 resignations from various classified and licensed positions. We have a contractual status change for a licensed administrator who I'd like to introduce to the board in just a moment. We have some one-time payments for staff and a number of activities that include, among other things, van certification training, kindergarten home visits, and middle school team planning. We also have the reemployment of classified administrators and classified employees, the employment of a classified administrator, new classified employees, 8 new teachers, and a number of individuals to pupil activity programs. Before I make the introduction, do you have any questions about tonight's consent?
Nope.
Very good. Well, I'd like to go ahead and ask Mr. Ernest Klingscale if he could please stand up to be introduced to the board and to the community. I'm pleased to welcome Mr. Ernest Klingscale as the new principal at Hawthorne Elementary School. For the past 5 years, Ernest has served as the assistant principal at Walnut Springs Middle School. Prior to this position, Ernest worked for 16 years, both at Columbus City and in California at various teaching, instructional, coaching, and administrative positions at both the middle school and elementary levels. He has a Bachelor of Science from Ohio University and Master of Education from Ashland University. So we're certainly excited to welcome him to the Mustang family at Hawthorne Elementary School. But before I ask him to sit down, I'd certainly like to introduce 2 other people that have certainly been influential to his life. And once one, as a former principal, I know when you become the new principal, your whole family becomes part of the community. So I would certainly like to introduce his wife, Nicole, and his beautiful daughter, Alyssa, tonight as well. So. Thank you very much for coming, and welcome aboard.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
I'm delighted for you, Ernest, and I'm delighted for Hawthorne. It's going to be great.
We're really happy to have you there.
Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Dr. Nestor Baker?
Yes.
Ms. Cotter?
Yes. Congratulations. Okay, moving on to standing business. Item 7.01, the 2019-2020 student handbooks.
Good
Can I
evening,
please have a
members of the
motion?
board.
Oh, we don't.
Give me a motion.
Motion and a second? Yeah.
Yeah. So moved.
Second.
I was in a hurry. Good evening, members of the board. I'm presenting for your consideration the recommended revisions for our 2019-2020 elementary, middle, and high school handbooks. I had the opportunity to facilitate a committee of stakeholders who reviewed our handbook, and together they reached consensus on the offered revisions. These talented individuals passionately debated various provisions within our handbook and offered language to improve inclusiveness and promote academic success for all students. The recommended handbook has been reviewed by legal counsel and is consistent with Ohio Revised Code, and I am happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions?
I don't have questions, but I do want to thank you as the introduction is so much friendlier than it used to be. And because there's so much procedure, there are many rules to follow, there are all sorts of policies in there. Setting it off with a, "We're really glad you're here" letter means a lot. So thank you for doing that.
Okay. Thank you.
Dr. Nestor Baker?
Yes.
Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Ms. Cotter?
Yes. Okay. Moving on to agenda item 7.02, a resolution to adopt a Calamity Day alternative makeup plan. Can I please have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second?
Good evening. Per House Bill 153, districts have the opportunity to maintain their school calendars by making up calamity hours. This resolution is to adopt a Calamity Day alternative makeup plan, which includes the use of up to 3 days in which online lessons will be utilized. The Ohio Department of Education, I looked back, I have a little folder, and I looked back, we've been doing this since 2012. We used to have to submit these to the state. We no longer have to do that, but it can only be done, or it has to be done on a yearly basis and must be done by August 1st. So this would be a resolution to allow students to make up to 3 school days using online lessons. Are there any questions?
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Dr. Nestor Baker?
Yes.
Ms. Cotter?
Yes. Okay, moving on to agenda item 7.03, a resolution to approve a memorandum of understanding between the Westerville City School District and the Westerville Education Support Staff Association. Can I please have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Dr. Hopkins again?
Members of the board, Dr. Kellogg, this is an agreement between the board and WESA to allow a member to remain eligible for health insurance benefits. This member had previously been eligible, but due to the district's decision to reallocate hours of our health aides in order to best serve the needs of our students, she became ineligible this year. This MOU is effective through August 2020.
Any questions? Nope.
Nope.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Nestor Baker?
Yes.
Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Ms. Cotter?
Yes. Okay, moving on to agenda item 8.01, public comments. I see that we do not have anyone signed up to speak this evening. So we'll move on to agenda item 9.01, board comments. Are there any board comments this evening?
No, not from me.
Nope. Just congratulations, Mr. Scale. Look forward to your new assignment.
Yes, welcome. Welcome to Hawthorne. And then welcome to all the new staff that we are hiring. So that'll be exciting for this upcoming school year. I don't have any other comments. Nancy, no? Okay, moving on to 10.01, the board will meet for a special board meeting on Monday, July 15th at 5:30 p.m. and in regular session on Monday, August 12th at 6 p.m. at the Early Learning Center here. And at this time, I'd like to call for a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Dr. Nestor Baker?
Yes.
Ms. Cotter?
Yes. Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you for coming this evening.
5:39.
Wow, that was fast.
Thank you for having a kid-friendly meeting.
Yes, right.
Appreciate it. That's all.